Good morning, guys. About 5:30 in the morning on Saturday, and we have got the P7000 fired up, and we're working with our HD metal chrome. Now, I have gotten tons of questions on this material. What can be done with it, what you can use it for, what you can apply it to, what kind of adhesive we use. The interesting thing is that more and more clients of ours are finding more and more uses for it. Depending upon what genre they're in and what their clients can come up with. The big thing here is to keep in mind that this material is not nearly as forgiving, because it is a true metal substrate, as regular vinyl. So once you've mastered regular vinyl, or you're okay with testing your printer in terms of working with a chrome substrate and a metal substrate, then you're really going to want to test this, because again, the profitability on this substrate is insane. Right now we're printing a single sheet. It's a little, I believe it's 25 inches long, and I believe it is 16 inches wide, and this will yield $58 this one sheet. So again, thinking about just how simple it is to make money with these, it's really amazing. Right now I'm just printing tags, and this is for the genre that I sell in, but I can tell you right now, it's virtually unlimited for what you want to do. Now, when we get questions about, and we get this a lot, what can I apply the vinyl to in terms of application? Well, really, vinyl can be applied to a lot of different substrates. Of course, metals and plastics are your best. And in terms of adhesive strength, and also dealing with longevity. But we have a lot of clients that are creative in terms of using different adhesives on the back to enhance the bond strength, because once again, this is a metal substrate. So even though it actually works with, you know, just typically a printer in terms of being an inkjet substrate, it's still going to be a lot thicker to work with than a vinyl, because that layer of metal is right over the top. That being said, even speaking over this material picks up any moisture in the air from you. Speaking picks up virtual dust, a lot less as far as dust, but anything you do close to this, you want to be far enough away, because you don't want to create a blem just by you being near it. But if you look at this as far as mirror finish, there's nothing like this. And considering it prints with an inkjet printer, once again, nothing like this. I've worked long and hard to get this material the way we wanted it, in terms of clarity, in terms of reflection, and also in terms of usability. If you are using any aftermarket adhesives to enhance its application, I would definitely recommend something like 3M, simply because we've had clients state that they're definitely the best company to work with, and of course the easiest to use with this material. Again, just like every other material, it does require lamination. You can use a spray laminate like our Marabou, but your finish is not going to be nearly as reflective and clear as a real general clear coat, like a paint job, as it would with our 3M 8518. So believe me, I've tried everything, and me trying everything and testing it means you don't have to. So save your money, do it right, and master vinyl. That's what you want to do, because if you do not master vinyl, this material working with it is not nearly as smooth. So keep that in mind. But once you've mastered regular vinyl, or you're ready to take on the challenge, because we have many clients that say, hey, you know what, I can figure it out, just let me deal with it. And when I say figure it out, it's not like you're doing anything different than loading it in your printer. But again, you want to get your color palette right. Chrome materials are a little bit different on your color palettes. Turn your contrast up, saturation up a little bit. Other than that, it's a very, very simple substrate to use in terms of loading it and letting the robot do the work. Where it becomes more detailed is understanding the lamination process. And you can see the curl that's coming out of the printer, because this is a much thicker material. So we'll cover exactly how we laminate with this. So you can see it's just slightly different than the process I just did a video on. But again, you got to understand the tweaks. You got to understand how to work with different substrates. Every substrate is different, you know, and that's the thing that you would want to master. But again, and I've said this in the previous video, that one print we did where I actually covered the lamination process was like $46, I think, or $48 in 20 minutes. This is going to be the same process within the same time frame, other than the printer naturally printing it and us cutting it. You're going to be looking at an additional maybe 20-25 minutes, and now you've got a $58 sheet. So break it down, guys. No matter what we're asking, we get told this a lot. People don't understand, you know, when they look at materials, they break it down, they try to understand pricing. And it's like, think about what you're talking about in terms of work to actually get a finished product. And that's something you have to think about. You're going to waste 1 or 2 sheets if you've never worked with this product before, and you can definitely message Joanna or I and basically ask us to give you a smaller sheet for testing, and we recommend that. A lot of people don't think that far ahead. Again, it's like paint, guys. You want to make sure you're testing it, getting the effect you want, and that's really what we're doing here, and you can see that. I mean, again, the reflection is insane, and these are just black labels. I mean, really nothing, you know, we're not really highlighting the true color spectrum of this material. But if you're looking for an effect, this will definitely give you your effect. Most people still can't believe once they purchase it what effect they get with how much we're offering it for, because they'll say, you know, we've looked at materials similar and they're, you know, 3-4 times as much, because they're dealing with, you know, different types of printing formats that aren't inkjet. So keep that in mind. You know, you're looking at a much more user-friendly, user-attainable project when you're dealing with inkjet printing, and the clarity and the resolution, and also thinking about how you can apply it is amazing considering the simplicity. So just keep that in mind. Testing is everything, guys. There's no way we can explain to you for every printer what you're going to experience. There's no way we can do that. What we do want to know is what you're doing. You can see she's wrapping up right now. What you're doing in terms of creating a process for yourself. That's where clients succeed, and then there's where clients fail. You have people that just don't know how to create a process, step by step, writing things down. Hey, what did I do? What did I actually cover as far as color palettes? Did I make any adjustments? Do I save those adjustments? It seems like people just want to load material and go, and that's fine, but be realistic. Nothing is going to be exact unless you're willing to take the time and invest in it. But if you do, you can see your results. I mean, it's crazy. And again, the material down here, you can see that reflection. Because again, most people can't understand just how reflective we're talking about. This is a literal mirror that you're printing on. So take your time, keep the questions coming. We'll keep doing the videos. And again, I'll show you another video shortly. I'll integrate that into this video on laminating it. Okay guys, we got the sheet unloaded from the printer. Everything is done. And you can see we use a different method. On any sheet of vinyl that is actually curled more than average. And when I say average, you might get a little flare on the edge, but what we're overall doing here is stabilizing this sheet using masking tape on the edges. We use a straight edge to give us this clean edge we've got here. Again, you pick which masking tape you prefer to use. Once again, we're using tempered glass. Laminate is over it. This sheet has not been placed yet. And you can see what we've got here. Just a perfect sheet. You're not going to get it absolutely perfectly flat. You don't want to, because once the laminator goes over it, it's going to put concentric pressure all the way across it, and it's going to basically stretch out the vinyl, and you want a little play in there so that it'll level the sheet as it rolls past. But you can see, working with it now, 10 times better. So the one thing nice about our HD Chrome is it does not hold dust. So when you actually go over it, we'll fold this back now, we'll redust it, and we're going to do the wet process just as we did before. And as we do that, you'll see the finished product once it's completed. Okay guys, here we go. This is the misting process, same exact thing as the previous video. Watch. Now I'm going to tell you right now, you want a bottle. You can see how high a dollar bottle we're using. But the atomization is what you're caring about. How you can control the atomization, and all that means is the droplet size that you're applying. You don't want blotches like this. like that. We don't want that. What we want is something where you come back far and let that water just kind of set on top. That's what we're trying to do, because as that water sets on top, we're not going to get big blotches. We're going to get little blotches that are squeegeed off from the silicone roller as it goes through. Being an engineer, part of it is understanding that you can read a million books, you can do a million math problems, but until you do actual real-world testing, you never know what you're actually getting. It's no different with doctors while they actually do a practice. They call it practicing medicine, because if they didn't practice medicine, you sure in hell wouldn't want them operating on you reading a book. So again, same principle with this. Everything is hands-on. That's what makes me showing you this one thing and you doing it another, because I make it, I've been told many times, oh, you make it look easy. That's a lot of years of practice. Hopefully you'll get to that point as well. But overall, you can see this process. I'm just misting. I missed the light. Why? Because lights carry dust too. We don't want to have any dust. Now I swing over the gooseneck, over to the laminator. Now I have light on my laminator. Pretty cool, right? And then we'll go over here. We're going to run it through. There's absolutely no way I can do this with her actually holding the camera, so we stabilize everything. And then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, guys, you can see the finished product. It's still wet. And there you go. Now, things to pay attention to, okay? You can see we've got some bubbles over here. Nothing to be concerned about because our graphics themselves are fine. These are on the outskirts from different pressure. And that's totally acceptable because your registration marks that are going to be used for cutting, as long as they're totally legible to the cutter, you're set. Now, when I say legible to the cutter, that means that if you're using a quality cutter, if you're using a Graph Tech, a Silhouette, something with a low-grade sensor on it, you may have issues if you get bubbles too close to these. So be careful. In our instance, we're going to be fine because our cutter does not use every box. Even though these are printed, it only uses certain boxes, and I know that one is not used. Other than that, you can see that mirror finish. And again, looking at the beads of water, you can see how this is done. And what about reflection? Let's see something. I'll bring the light back. Look at this. You can see my hand. It's like a mirror. And that 3M does its job every single time. So we've got perfect UV protection, and we have the durability our clients are looking for with the look they're looking for. And that's everything. So again, guys, the finish is right there. Just going to pan over, and you can see exactly what you got. Looking at the light and the clarity, you can see no bubbles, no troubles, nothing. And we're all set. Once again, once you guys feel you're comfortable in working with regular vinyl, this is the next step, and the profits go up from here because, of course, this material, I have never seen it anywhere else, not even something similar, and especially with the clarity and the color vibrance, you're not going to find it anywhere. I've worked on it for years to get it to that level, but it came out amazing, and that's what our clients keep coming back. Like I said, they're coming back and trying to figure out what they can use this for because they get so many different requests. Can we use it for vehicles? Can we use it for, signage on buildings? You can do a lot of different things. The main thing is how you apply it and what kind of environment you're putting it in. Okay, let me clarify that just a little bit. If I put this on a car, I'm never going to get the durability on a car's bumper as I would in an area on a car that is not going to get heavy traffic and deal with washings and so forth as far as abrasion. If you put it on a building, let's say we have certain clients doing their own graphics for their own office building in terms of, numbers on a door or different graphics for their logos on their door or on their glass. These are ideal because they're in a nice overhanged area most of the time. They're not directly in sun, and they'll sit there, and the durability factor of them being brushed upon or being gently cleaned is only up to the end user, and it will last pretty much indefinitely. So these are things to think about. Again, dealing with the materials themselves. Now, when I say indefinitely, of course, it depends on the printer you're using. Our inks on our Epson P7000 are rated to a 200-year fade resistance. Again, do I hold Epson to that? I'd be a fool to hold Epson to that, or any manufacturer, and you would as well. What I would say is that you want to pay attention to the quality of the printer you're using. If you're using a $100 printer, don't expect anything more than a $100 result. If you're using a high-end printer, the robot's cost goes up because the printer's inks go up, which is like you're using better paint. and what you're wanting to do is get that high resolution and the high durability you're looking for as far as longevity and less color fading, I would stay with like a Canon Pixma and then go up from there. The larger format printers, like you see the Epson P7000 and so on and so forth, they're going to give you the most durable inks, and that again is going to take your products to an entirely different level. So again, I hope that the video has been helpful. I hope you start implementing some of our techniques, because I guarantee you'll see the difference. Take care.